Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
We are finally back with Sandman Talks, and today is like probably one of my favorite episodes ever. No, not because Mike's back, but because a different Mike is back.
Hey!
For his first time
Different
ever.
Mike.
A different. Actually,
Sober
I just put that together. It's not Neat Mike. It's Mike from Georgia, who's a cop.
Hey, there it is.
Dude, people are probably looking at this title and they're like, what do you mean? Because it's probably gonna say something like what the episode's about, and then it's gonna say like with Mike the cop. And
Mike got a new job? What?
Mike's a cop now? He's getting ripped to be a cop. It all makes sense. No, dude, this is Mike. He's 26. He's a police officer in Georgia. That is all the information we're giving out to protect him, because we're gonna be talking about a bunch. Not protect him. He can protect himself, but to more just, you know, you're gonna be
a little anonymity.
Exactly. We're gonna be telling some stories and talking about this guy Tony, who's having a problem. So we'll read that. But dude, give us a little. Who are you? I mean, you're a cop from Georgia. What do you do in life besides that? What are your hobbies?
Well, man, dude, of course, watching my homies on the YouTube, you know, playing the Rocket League. Been, you know, aspiring to be the best like Mr. Sandman. But
oh yeah, the best. What? Not the best at own goaling? Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, what do you know? Plat 3? Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I've gotten to. I'm almost plat 7.
Yeah. But nah, I've been a police officer about 7 years, straight out of high school. You know, and I love every minute of it, dude. I wouldn't change anything for the world.
What made you choose that? What was like the what was the overall? And by the way, anyone who's new to this is Sandman Talks, where we take questions that I get sent in an email that is in the description, and we answer them. And usually I have buddies on here. And honestly, how this came to be with Mike, it was just so cool. He sent me a message about like Rizzo and I were joking about doing a drug episode, and he's like, hey, if you ever need help to talk about like, you know, the legal system of it and all that, like I can be in. So I was like, oh my God, that is so perfect. And that is
absolutely.
That's how Mike's here. But go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, no, you're good. So like when I was a kid, man, like 15, I actually had a drug problem myself.
Whoa.
Kind of like, you know, like high school type thing. You know, you had to fit in with the cool crowd and, you know, do what they were doing. So I kind of picked that up, and it got a little out of hand for a while, and ended up being arrested.
Whoa. At what age?
15. Yeah.
15. Wow.
15. Wow. Yeah. So not old enough for it to
really
last the rest of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, at the time it was, you know, do your little time in 24 hours until your mom comes and gets you type thing, you know?
Totally.
But there was a police officer there, and he actually, he went way above and beyond and went out of his way to make sure that I got the help that I needed to get, you know, as a 15-year-old, to kind of get me back on track. And that stuck with me forever, man. And
that's
always
crazy. That one person can really make a difference. And did that give you like the feeling of like, I want to do that for someone? Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, when it stuck with me, once I got a little older, you know, 17, 18, I was like, dude, you know, what am I going to do when I graduate high school? And I was like, you know what? What if I can help some kid like he helped me, you know? And here I am, dude. I've been all about it ever since.
That's and do you think you've helped some people? Have you gone?
Oh yeah. And that's kind of what I like to do is kind of do a lot with the kids around, and especially like in our drug programs. I do a lot of drug enforcement and things like that, and just any opportunity we can to help somebody. And my philosophy is, if you help one kid, you know, if I go my whole career and you help one person, then it was all worth it. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy is like, as much as and your job is way more. Well, it's just your job is so important, very different than what I'm doing, right? We have some similarities, of course, but you are, I mean, let's get real. You're putting your life on the line every day. I'm I'm a big old pussy. I mean, ish. You
No,
know what I mean?
no.
I'm scared
Yeah,
to,
I see what you're
you
saying.
know what I mean? Like in a physical kind of like you're there. You know, I'm, you know, obviously, hopefully helping people as well in my own way. But it's the same thing with me is like with my streams or my videos is like, dude, if I can help one person make them have a happier day or like make them not worry about the shit that's going on at home, then I'm doing my job. Like, and it
100%.
it fulfills me, right? So like, it's so cool that there's some parallels there. And dude, you are perfect to have on for this and possibly more topics in the future because
that'd be dope.
I mean, this is gonna be good. So we're gonna jump into the topic at hand today, but I'm sure we'll find out a lot more about Mike.
For sure.
All right, man, I'm gonna read this real quick. So the title of this was Drug Problem, which obviously caught my eye. I was like, all right, what's going on? And this is this is from Tony. So he says, "Hey John, what up? My name is Tony. I'm 22 years old and I'm from Canada. Thank you for doing Sandman Talk series. I've enjoyed it very much so far. My problem, as you can tell from the subject, is drugs. I have a really bad weed addiction. I know there's a lot of people out there who smoke pot, but not to my extent. It used to be something fun to do with my friends when I got out of the house, but now I have a good job, which has given me the ability to afford my own apartment for the last 2 years. At first, it was fun having your own place. Smoke whenever you want, it was great. But now it's so great. It's all I do. When I'm not at work, I'm at home smoking. It's sad. It's literally all I do. I don't go out anymore to see friends because I'm too attached to the weed and the fact that I can have it in the comfort of my own home. I have people come over, but it's usually weekends and it's the same general group of people. People who want to smoke weed. I haven't seen my homeboys from back in elementary school in a while now, and it's due to my weed problem. I'm high all the time. I mean all the time, 24/7, and for once I just want to be sober. I want to fix it. I have made a few efforts to try. I made an attempt to start running again. I used to run cross country and track before in school. I even bought a vape too, just a simple flavored one, something to smoke and help my cravings. But in the end, I come back to pot. I'm still trying and it won't stop. I was hoping you had some advice for me. Any past experience or moments you had that may help me out and be much appreciated. So dude, I didn't know that.
Wow.
I know, this is crazy. So first of all, before anyone knows, okay. When I called Mike just now, he did a quick video chat with me and he's like, John, I just want to show you something. First of all, he showed me the Sizz Riz Jizz shirt he was wearing. He's like, yo, this is legit, comfortable. I was like, yes. And then he showed me his full badge, his uniform, guns, all the full get up of a cop just to make sure he was legit. So anyone who's like listening and is like, how do we know he's a cop? You don't have to, you can believe whatever you want, but I am telling you, I saw it. And it's even crazier, dude, that I didn't know this. I don't think you even said it in the email. Maybe you did.
No, I don't think I did.
About a drug problem. So what was your drug of choice, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, no, I started, same way with a little weed every now and then, but my big thing was pills.
Yes, dude.
People would just bring stuff, to school, and you're 15. Fuck it, somebody hands you something, you're like, hey, this will feel great. Try it.
Yeah.
And you just do, and then you keep wanting that same feeling, and before you know it, you're passed out in the bathroom every day at school, and it just happens so quick. But that was me, and it was started with that, and it kind of went on to more things, and luckily that I never got caught with any of the more things, because I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today.
Totally. And and I mean that's the craziest thing is like it. I mean, all right, so let's go back to Tony. Like he's doing.
Yeah.
Luckily, right? Is this fair to say? And this is from my perspective. Luckily, he's just addicted to weed.
Yeah.
But at the same, I mean, this isn't, and this is not to say, well, heroin is much worse. Cocaine is much worse to be addicted to than marijuana. Correct? Ish.
Yeah.
Ish. I put
definitely that on a physical level.
Yes, on a physical level, ruining your body. Yeah.
Yeah.
But on a mental level, it's still addiction. And
right, it's still, you're at the exact same spot as you would be if you were addicted to anything else. It's
did you hear him, dude? Like, it's so sad. Like he realistically, Tony, Like we're gonna talk. I mean, obviously, this is why I'm so glad Mike's here. Neither of us are trained psychiatrists or doctors, so I want to make that clear before anyone, while everyone's listening to this. You know, I never think my answer is the right answer, and these are just our experiences, and you can
just our opinions.
Take what you want from it. But first of all, man, it's so good that you know you have a problem, because I feel like
no, absolutely. I was actually just thinking that I was going to say it's such a big step to be able to look in the mirror and say, hey, dude, I might have a problem with this. I should get some help.
Totally.
And that's huge. I mean, you can't expect someone else to help you if you're not ready to help yourself. So it's so huge to be able to say that.
Exactly. So I think the first step is there. That's great. And the second step, so for me, I'm just thinking in my situation. Let me tell you about just my quick past of smoking. It was all social. The only thing I never did any heavy drugs, but I used to smoke in high school, beginning of college, and then all of a sudden when I turned like 23, weed gave me crazy anxiety, like bad. Like I was like, nope. And then everyone's like, oh, dude, this kind of weed. Dude, you gotta smoke the, what is it, indica or the sativa, man. It'll chill you out. I was like, nope. It just started, everything messed with me, so I just stopped. But I don't really have an addictive personality. And I know, you know, that's not always what it is, but like, I never like was like, oh, I need more of this. I need more of this for any drug. And that could be because when I was young, and I've talked about this in a past Sandman live or Sandman talks. When I was young, I lost my best friend, like in the world, to pills.
Wow.
And I
actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know if. I mean, he accidentally, pretty much. I mean, this is really like sad, but he accidentally killed himself because he was on pills. He did something called the choking game, where he would like pass himself out while on these pills, and he was on so much I think it was triple C, like cough medicine and pills, that like he didn't even know, and he sadly died. So like that happened to me when I was like 14, 15, like literally the age of like, literally that is the age where everything's crazy, right? Like you're getting introduced to
so
drugs and sex, and it's like, oh, you're a kid. No, you're an adult. No, you're not. Like, what do? You're in like going into high school or whatever it is. So like when that happened, I think for me personally, it was that experience that was like, screw anything that like takes me away from my normal ability to see and do things and like be in the moment. I still like drinking though. I drink socially, like probably once or twice a week. Like definitely love like having a beer or like, you know, getting drunk. I still like that, which takes away my ability to think. But it was more the it was more just the addiction, the addictive personalities of anything. Yeah. So,
but I mean, you know your limits on stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know you can't go out and binge drink every day. And that's kind of what it's about. You have to know what you're capable of taking.
Exactly.
And you know.
Exactly.
So when's the last time that you've used any drugs, John?
Oh my God. So drugs. So do we clarify? So from Los Angeles, you know, weed, marijuana, mota, whatever you say, is.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not a drug, but it is a drug, right? It is because it's classified. Yeah. Even though it's legal now out where I live, it's not legal in Georgia, right? We talked about that.
No, that's correct.
Yeah.
What's not legal here?
What happens if you get caught with like some weed?
It depends. It depends on what kind of amount we're talking about. I mean, like a small little, you know, dime bag or something like that. Most of the time, if you've got a good attitude about it, we'll just kind of take it and discard of it right there and send you on your way.
But what if what if they're smoking while driving? Like, what if the car
smoking
is filled?
while driving? It's treated just like a DUI with like alcohol.
Wow, yeah, I can understand.
It's treated exactly like it, whether it's legal or not. And I believe it should be that way in LA too.
Yeah, it is for sure. But everyone has those, like, you know, the pens now. It's all in the pen and like the oil and all that. So it's like it's so hard to tell. It really is.
Well, and we can get into all that kind of stuff another time if you want. But
You're like, we have our ways.
yeah, I don't want to snitch too hard, but no, I mean, there's certain certifications that you can get that I've gotten that kind of makes that easier to tell. Your body tells on you, and there's nothing really you can do about it. Yeah, and it's mainly your eyes.
Totally.
Your eyes and your brain.
What happens to your eyes, like when you're high compared to when you're drunk?
If you're high, you can have what's called, and it's also when you're drunk, you can have what's called a horizontal nystagmus, and it's an involuntary jerking of your eyes as they move side to side.
Oh, wow.
And there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, your body tells on you. So when we go up to the window and kind of look down at you, and it seems like we're just kind of bullshitting you, hey, where are you coming from? All that
You're
shit.
just staring into the eyes.
Right. What I'm doing, and I'm kind of like leaning back a little, so that you have to move your eyes up towards me, so they're already looking to the side.
Yeah.
And they'll start bumping right there. So as soon as I look at you, you're screwed, and there's just nothing you can do.
So wait, what if I was wearing sunglasses?
Depends. Like during the day, you don't have a lot more of it, but
yeah,
if you can.
I'm not trying to figure out ways to get around this. By the way, listen, Uber and Lyft. It
sounds like you are, John.
Uber and Lyft is a thing. Like I don't.
Because
it's so funny now. I just have like if I have one drink, I take an Uber or Lyft. Like I don't mess with like. There's no point. It's not worth the 10,000.
It seems like to me that you avoided the question of when's the last time that you.
No. I mean, listen. Last time I smoked, I think it was like a drunken night, maybe like 9 months ago. Like I can smoke after drinking.
We got him, boys.
We got him.
Pack it in. It's recording.
Was that before it was legal?
Dude.
Yeah, no, I can smoke like I'll take a hit. I'm such a dad now though, man. Like it's so funny, like all these new contraptions, and I'm like, I don't know about like this sounds crazy. Like I totally know it's just gonna get crazier, and I just don't enjoy it. But like after a night of drinking, it like can mellow me out. I really like this CBD, man. The CBD pens.
There's
are
a big deal about that here, man. It's not as legal here as you would think. There it is. Everybody thinks it is here, but it's definitely not, because it still has a very small amount of THC.
Yeah, like 2% or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and it can make you pop on a drug test just the same as anything else. But
that's crazy.
It's sold in like gas stations here, so I mean it's not.
This is so to tie this all in, guys. Why I was saying about my story and what made me stop, not really get addicted to things is like if that never happened in my life, losing my friend, I don't know if I could have totally like been like, ooh, pills, like that sounds fun or crazy, or like what that'll make me stay up and study way more. So to ask you, maybe to help Tony out a little, what's the first thing you did? I mean, that cop really saved you, right?
Yeah. The first thing that really stuck with me is because he didn't necessarily, put me in a drug program or anything like that. But what he did was ask. He just asked, "Hey man, are you okay? Can I help you? What do you need from me?" And that makes all the difference. And you never know, even though somebody may not be able to help you, just talking about it with somebody, and if you hear yourself say it, it may help you out a little bit.
And that's what I noticed from here is I don't think he ever said in this message, like, I talked to my family or I talked to my best friend about it. It seems like all his friends that do come over are the ones who want to get high, and they get to do it once a week at his place because he's making money now. And I get that. Like,
absolutely.
Like when I moved into my back guest house in my parents' house, like I had my own place kind of, and my friends would come over every weekend, and that would be the spot. Like we drank and like we smoke and we chill and like get high and watch Jersey Shore, dude. And it was like... That was like
don't ever say that again, please.
Dude, are you kidding me? Jersey Shore? No. It was terrible. But it was great. In the moment it was great. Yeah. But it seems like he hasn't really talked to anyone about it. Right.
And here's what I would suggest, dude. You seem to know what the problem is. I mean, you kind of called it out in your email. Hey, I'm hanging out with all these guys and that's all they want to do, maybe don't hang out with them. You know, I know they're your friends, but if you know that it's a problem and you know that they're not helping you solve that problem and you genuinely want to solve it, you know, maybe hit up your buddies from elementary school that you were talking about.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Have your buddies from elementary school come over and you meet these guys somewhere public and go grab a coffee or like go to a movie with them and like somewhere where you can't have that pressure of like, you know, because if they come to your house and they've been in like, they know this is the house where we blaze it up and we get stoned, like that's what's gonna stay that way. So if you clean up, I would say you start with a nice cleanup session. Like really just get it smelling nice, get it good. No more just to start. No more smoking in the house. No more. That's disgusting, right? Like think that mindset. If you're gonna go smoke, you got to go outside on the patio. And I know it's pretty damn cold in Canada, so hey, you got to get a little cold if you're gonna want to go hit your pipe or your bong or whatever you're smoking at it, your pen. So you got to go outside. So like it starts with something as little as that, right? Mike?
Yeah, I agree with that. Just any step, really. And it really doesn't matter what the step is, as long as you're taking steps to better yourself that way, then you have that mindset of, hey, I really want to stop doing this. And if you can just make yourself believe that, then, you know, you can do anything you want to stop.
Exactly. And I also really like that he said, he was just saying, I want to be sober. I want to fix it.
Yeah.
And he started running again, which all those things, dude, are so good. And even Mike, Neat Mike, talked about it in a couple episodes ago where he was just saying, you know, working out for him gets his mind off everything. And that it's just, he's in that moment and distracting yourself with things you've always wanted to do. And honestly, like, I know I have friends who can operate 24/7 on weed and who get high all the time and they're fine. But at the same time, I always remember I had a buddy who was exactly like you, Tony, like exactly. And I remember he quit and he finally like was over it and was done. And I remember like him telling me, like, I was like, so like he stopped drinking too. He was like, no drinking, no smoking. And he told me, like we were out at a bar and I was drinking and I'm like, do you ever miss this at all? And he's like, honestly, I have so much more fun being sober because I spent the last 8 years of my life high and drunk all the time. That like being sober and like actually being awake for things and enjoying conversations and remembering and everyone feeling like shit the next day except for me and everyone being lethargic. Like I feel great. I stay up later than all my friends now. I'm like ready to go. I'm working. Things are becoming more successful in my life. Like, and this is just obviously one story. So don't, you know, all the stoners who are listening to this, don't be like, he's trying to bring down our people. Weed unite. Weed unite. Like, no, I'm not. I totally get it. Like it is a lifestyle. A lot of people have it and I respect it, but for Tony,
and it can be great in moderation.
Oh, absolutely, you know? Absolutely.
To be honest, I think weed's probably one of the best things on the planet. Just like Tony was saying, it's a little too good, you know, because you get addicted to it.
And that's
like
coming
that.
from a cop. That's coming.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, we don't write the laws, unfortunately. You know, I wish everybody would just kind of get over themselves and let's be real and. You know,
it's also just not for some people. Like, and that's like what I want a lot of people to realize is no matter how many people are like, oh, this is so cool, man, being high is the best. Like, you might try it, and guess what? It's not gonna be the best. You will. Some people hate the feeling of being out of their body a little or not as like fully in, and that's okay. And so anyone who's listening to this, I don't care how old or young you are, don't ever feel the pressure to do anything you don't want to do as far as it's not a cool thing. There's nothing cool about it. It's a thing in your life. If you want to experience it, go ahead and do it. Please do it in a safe environment and be safe. Like, don't be driving along on a highway going 100 and like, yeah, this is my first time. Like, no, like be safe about it, please. And the scariest thing for me, and maybe from a cost perspective, you can give me a little bit more on this, but like I was always scared growing up. Where does this come from? Because like now it's all like produced like. Luckily now you can get it at like a store where it's like not FDA approved, but like it's a little more legit. But like
it's a little more
before
chill.
it was like your shady buddy Sean is gonna meet you at a park. And he's gonna drop you a 20 sack, and it's gonna be really weird, and he's, you know, and it's like, where's this coming from? So like,
well, used to like back in, it still does a little bit now, but a lot of this stuff, you know, unless you've got, you know, your shady buddy down the street that's growing it in his basement, you know, things like that, that's different. But most of it is coming from Mexico now.
Really?
And it's coming across the border through the cartels. Like if you go to the corner and buy a dime sack, it's a pretty good chance that originated in Mexico.
And how big are the chances of it being like more than just weed? Is that usually a thing or not really?
I haven't really seen that
good.
where I live, but I kind of live in a more rural area, so maybe in the urban areas, you know, who knows? But I haven't really seen that. What we did have here a while back is we had a group of Cuban guys that had rented a trailer here, and they completely renovated the entire trailer to be one big grow room.
Oh my God.
And it's just, and you would never know just looking on the outside, but you walk in and it's just marijuana everywhere. And that's what they were growing. And what they would do is they would load it up on U-Haul trucks and they would send it to Miami from here. So, you know, straight down the interstate from here and go to Miami, and then they would disperse it there.
Oh my God.
A lot of things come from that. You know, as well as you have those people who go to these rural areas like mine, and they just set up houses and grow it. You know, and the funny thing is, this is kind of embarrassing, but their little house was like 2 miles away from my house. You know,
you never know.
And I never knew. You know, you never knew.
Never, dude. And they're probably like such sweet guys or girls, and like you never know who your neighbor is or what's going on. So I feel like.
Anyway, back to Tony. What I would recommend, Tony, find something that you enjoy doing as much as you enjoy doing that.
Smoking.
And try to find a replacement, whether it be, you know, family or going to the movies or playing Rocket League. I mean, whatever it is that you enjoy doing, you know, you might find that you like playing Dungeons and Dragons on every Saturday or whatever.
Yeah, I hope so. D&D's
you never
awesome.
know. Yeah, but I mean, you never know. You might be a secret artist, you know, that you can come up with something. But find something to fill that void, because it's going to kind of feel like a void for a while. And without anything to replace it, you're going to replace it with what's easiest, and that's going to go back to smoking weed. Because it's just the easiest thing available to replace that.
Exactly.
But if there are other options, you know, then you're giving yourself an out if you find something else that you enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important.
I do too. I think that's a good shout. Is like trying to find something to not replace it, but just something you love as much as.
Right.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. I'm trying to think of anything else.
Something so you don't have to rely on weed to give you that level of happiness or excitement or whatever it is you get from it.
Would you say people use weed usually, or I guess this is too much of a general question, but like do people smoke to escape from things, or is it different for everybody?
I would say it's different for everybody.
Okay.
I think I wouldn't say weed's necessarily
because I never used it to escape.
escaping.
I guess. Yeah, I used it for like creative.
I would say enhancing.
Enhancing.
Would
yeah.
be, but that kind of like praises it a little too much. It just kind of
making things different.
Yeah,
it's like looking through a different lens.
Yeah,
looking at life through a
but
different.
As far as escaping, most people, what I see is, you know, they move on to harder things.
Yeah. Do you think weed is a gateway drug?
It can be.
Like, are you worried about Tony? Since he's so into weed,
I'm not worried about Tony, because Tony knows what's up. He knows that this is an issue, and I think Tony knows the boundary. You know, I think if Tony was going to take it any further, he would have done so by now.
Yeah.
So I think Tony, you're going to be all right. Like, it's going to be okay. You know, you don't have to worry if you're going to wake up tomorrow and store 3 lines of cocaine or whatever. You know,
yeah, just all of a
you'll
sudden.
be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it miraculously shows up at your bedside. The cocaine fairy left it, and you know.
Cocaine fairy.
And I would also say, Tony, if you know that it's this big of an issue, and it's easier said than done, of course, but just stop buying it. You know, you can't smoke it if you don't buy it.
True.
Also, it won't be an option. So.
What I've always wanted to do, like with my dad and like with my mom when they smoked cigarettes, was like, I was always like, you guys spend so much, you know, obviously the little, like when I was a kid, I was like, cigarettes are bad, and they are.
Yeah.
They're dude, I think cigarettes worse than weed. They would always buy these cigarettes, and I was like, listen, if you just put that money in like a drawer that you're gonna spend on a pack or for a box, it was like $30 a carton back then, or 39 bucks.
Now it's like, I think it's double that.
Yeah.
Now
Dude, it's ridiculous.
Some insane number.
It's like $9 a pack for cigarettes now. So I was like, why don't you just put that money in like a savings thing or like in a jar, right? You're gonna go spend that, and then check how much money you would save in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. In 6 months, see how much money you save, and then go spend that on yourself with a big old vacation or something.
Absolutely.
Truly, especially with weed, man, for as much as it sounds like you're smoking, and in Canada, like, bro, I think you can have some serious money to buy yourself, put a down payment on a really nice car, or like, you know what I mean, dude? Like,
for sure.
And that's something too, is also creating goals for yourself with like, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna go buy it. And it's just like a diet, right? You're like, I'm not gonna eat that donut that I really want. I'm not gonna do those carbs. Instead, I'm gonna eat, you know, chicken and feel better about myself because that's what I wanna do. It's the same thing with this weed. Like, just do all the things that Mike was saying, in a sense of like finding things to replace with it, but also realize how much money you can save. And I think all those positives will be the final killer to like the problem. We'll be like, wow, look at this, saving money, spending it on things that I really want, feeling better, feeling more in, getting to hang out with old friends and bring back past relationships that I haven't had. And you'll see who your real friends are, man. The ones who,
no, absolutely.
You know, you'll see who your the real peeps, the people who are just using you for your house to just blaze it up in, and you're okay company, or the people who really want to spend quality time with you. And you're 22, man, so you're still really young, but at the same time, like you're getting older. Where I just love how like smart he is about this. He's so I've never read anything.
Very mature.
It's so mature, dude. It's so mature.
And if I can add on, I love your idea of the goals, you know, set goals for yourself.
Yeah.
I would say express those goals with your close friends and family too.
Yeah.
And once you set them, tell them, because that's somebody else that's going to be holding you to that standard. If you only hold yourself to that standard, you can kind of forget about it and just tell yourself, it'll be all right, I'll catch that goal next month. But if your mom, you know, I don't know what your family situation is, but, you know, if your friends and family close to you know that expectation you set for yourselves, you're going to want to live up to that for them as well. And I think that's important.
Yeah, I completely agree. And now, Mike, just one last question before we get off this. Is there something that you know, I mean, you're obviously in Georgia, he's in Canada, but like as far as like people with problems who don't have that mom or dad or that like that good friend or that someone they can talk to, there's gotta be, I mean, obviously there's rehabilitation centers and things like that for like when
those are kind of scary.
Those are scary and like intense. Is there anything like middle ground that's like like online kind of like site that, like, you know what I mean? Anything you know
here's what you do. I will shout out Reddit on this one. There's multiple subreddits, you know, that kind of help with addiction and, because everybody's on Reddit. You've got a whole color wheel of people to pick from. So,
Yeah.
and you have like therapists and psychiatrists and everything that'll get on there. And here's some really good posts. But if you wanted to go more local, I would encourage you, and straight up, it's going to sound weird and probably uncomfortable, especially because it's like an illegal thing. If it's illegal where you are, go to your local police department and just straight up, hey man, can I talk to you for a minute? And tell them what's going on. Hey, I have this problem. I really want help with it. Whatever.
Dude,
I
truly.
can't promise you that every cop is going to react the same way. Personally, if it were me, you're straight up coming to me asking me for help. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you.
Could he get arrested on the spot for saying he's...
No.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
No, absolutely
Covering
not.
that basis.
Absolutely not.
And it's legal in Canada now, so it definitely shouldn't be a problem.
But even still, even if it's legal, even if it's not a legal thing with a cop, ask them for help. Because if somebody came up to me and was like, legit, hey, dude, I need help. I'm helping you no matter what.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And I'm willing to bet that somebody at that department will as well. So truly, if you need help and you don't have anywhere else to turn to, go ask. And, maybe they can at least point you in the right direction.
Mike,
that's
I'm tripping out at how this all came to be, like this episode, and how this guy's problem, and like I'm tripping out on how
meant to be.
Well, it worked out. It's actually crazy to me, and dude, I appreciate you coming on so much.
Absolutely. And Tony, one more thing, brother.
Give it to him.
If you can't find any help anywhere, and you don't know where to turn, shoot John another email on Sandman Live, and he'll hook you up with my information, and I'll do whatever I can to help you. Anything.
Totally.
Like,
yeah. Respond to your email. Yeah.
And anybody else out there who feels like they need, don't send them. If you send a message, oh, fuck the police,
Fuck the
police. I don't care about that. Yeah. But if you straight up need help, we'll get somebody to help you. And I'm sure John would be willing to help with that.
Absolutely.
We'll get you some help for anybody that's going through anything, especially addiction related.
Yeah,
we'll do our best.
And also, I'll also on this, because for addiction in general, I'll try and get some like numbers and things in the description as well, just that are like instant.
That would be great.
But there's always things locally, and as Mike was saying, you could always, as crazy, I would never have thought of that, but like as crazy as it sounds, there could be other cops out there like Mike, and I'm sure Mike knows some. And they're...
Oh, absolutely.
You never know when you're going to get someone who's been through what Mike's been through and, wants to change people for the better and help. So, God.
Just remember, we're all humans, man. We all got to look out for each other. So, whatever you do for a living, it doesn't matter. We're all here to look out for each other. So, and that's what counts. So.
And on that note, that is the quote to end the vid. Holy crap, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, dude.
Dude, was an absolute pleasure.
We love you, Tony. And guys, I'll see you tomorrow for not as deep of an episode. It'll probably just be a normal Rocket League episode, but I love these. I'm addicted to these, and Mike will for sure be back. We'll see you soon. Peace out, guys.
Peace out, homies.